Hello friends and welcome back. This is Dr. Janardhan Pawar from TC College Baramati. In last video we have seen the concept of verbal communication, and there I told you what is this verbal communication exactly. Friends, when we think about verbal communication, in this particular concept of communication, we have seen in verbal communication we people use some written words or spoken word for the purpose of communication. So here we are going to see how this verbal communication is made. There are two different subtypes of verbal communication which we are going to focus in this particular video. So friends, there are two different types of verbal communication that we follow in our day-to-day life also. As far as business communication is concerned, or as far as business organization is concerned, there are two types of verbal communications they use in business organization for the purpose of communication, and these two subtypes are oral communication and written communication. So friends, we are going to see the meaning of oral communication as well as we are going to see the meaning of written communication thoroughly, and after that we are going to see the merits and demerits of oral communication and written communication separately in a precise manner. Friends, already we have seen the concept of verbal communication means what? In a communication in which a communication we go for written words or spoken words. So just we are going to talk about in this video about these two subtypes of verbal communication, and those are oral communication and written communication. So my first question to you all is, what do you mean by oral communication and what do you mean by written communication? You if you just look at the title of this or sub types of oral verbal communication, you can understand everything. First of all, we are going to discuss about oral communication. Just think, what do you mean by oral communication? I hope you can understand. Or similarly, you can also look at the concept or second concept, that is written communication. By looking at this concept also, we can understand everything. But there is a need to have some explanation, and this is what I'm going to explain everything in a precise manner. So friend, what do you mean by oral? Oral means what? In a spoken form. We need to speak, we need to talk, we need to discuss, we need to utter some words, and it becomes oral communication, which can be done by using mouth. And from mouth we speak something, we utter something, we talk something. So whenever we go for making the communication by using our mouth, when we use some language from our mouth for making the communication, it is called as oral communication. It is very simple to understand. Moving on to the next one, that is written communication. Written communication is nothing but what? It is a way of communication where mouth is not used but words are used. We write something, we do the communication by using written format of communication. So here oral format is not applicable. It means what? Written format we go for. Suppose if I want to give you one notice that tomorrow there is a holiday, for example. So in this case, I have to write a notice, and that can be circulated or that will be circulated among you guys. And whenever I want to go for this kind of communication, or whenever I go for this kind of communication, it becomes written communication. Understood? So here, under this verbal communication, there are two different subtypes of communication, and these two different subtypes of communications are oral communication and written communication. So in case of oral communication, we go for words that we speak from our mouth. So my mouth is used for making this communication, and here we talk, we speak, and we utter some words for making the communication. Whereas in second type of verbal communication, that is written communication, we go for writing the message through notice, through circular, through report, and that will be given to the concerned party, to the concerned authorities. And when this kind of communication is made, it becomes written communication. So these are the two subtypes of verbal communication, and those are oral communication and written communication. Friends, I hope you people have understood these two subtypes of of verbal communication in a precise manner. Moving on to the next slide, and there we are going to talk about the oral communication separately. Look, if you look at the picture and the content given in this slide, you can understand everything. Here there is one picture. There is one picture of teacher who is teaching to his student. He is showing something on the board, and from that you can understand. If he wants to explain whatever he is showing, he has to talk, he has to speak, he has to utter some words from his mouth, and that he is doing. So this kind of communication is called as what? Oral communication. By looking at the picture also, we can understand the concept of oral communication in a different manner or precise manner. So it is a very simple to understand. Oral communication means what? The person or the speaker or the communicator is using some words to pass the message. Here we can understand whatever we learn from the teacher in the classroom physically, it becomes oral communication. Suppose I'm taking my lecture, whatever lecture I'm taking, suppose it is physical nature or not in physical nature. For example, I'm taking online lecture, that is also a part of what? Oral communication. So whatever we are doing through the video, that is also a part of what? Oral communication. So oral communication is nothing but what? In this kind of communication, words are used, and words are uttered, words are spoken from the mouth for giving the message. So lectures, we learn some speeches also from the politicians. Those are also the part of what? Oral communication. So here, as far as this oral communication is concerned, oral communication implies communication through mouth, that already I have told you. It includes individual conversing with each other. Suppose whatever communication we do face to face, that chat we do face to face, it becomes oral communication. Be it direct conversation or telephonic conversation, it may be face to face communication, or it may be telephonic communication, it may be video conferencing through communication, it may be in the form of video, in the form of audio also. Speeches, presentations, discussions are all forms of oral communication. As far as forms of oral communications are concerned, it may be in the form of conversation means discussion, it may be in the form of telephonic conversation, it may be in the form of speeches. As I told you, we listen speeches from eminent speakers, guest lecturers, politicians, and even news anchors also. Discussion that we do inside the class, a discussion that we see on the television channel, those are also oral communications. And these are the different forms of oral communication. So one thing you people have to remember here, as far as oral communication is concerned, oral communication is nothing but what? The words and that we speak from our mouth for the purpose of giving message. So it is in the spoken form, and it is called as what? Oral communication. And for this oral communication purpose, there are different forms are available. For example, telephonic conversation is there, direct conversation is there, that can be called as face-to-face communication. It is there, speeches are also there, presentations are there, discussions are there, and all these are the forms of oral communication that we do in every business organization. I hope this much is enough for oral communication, and you people have understood the concept of oral communication thoroughly. If not, please ask your doubts and raise your queries by using online platform. Moving on to the second thing about this oral communication, and that we are going to see in next video. Till then, stay tuned and stay connected. Thank you.